Hello, it's Wednesday, the 21st of May, 2025, just after 1 o'clock. Welcome to UK Column News. I'm your host, Mike Robinson. Joining me in the studio today is Charles Mallet. By video link, we have Vanessa Beeley and Sandy Adams. Welcome to the programme, everyone.
Thanks, Mike.
Now, later in the programme, we're going to be covering the Lucy Connolly case, health and AI, and the Middle East. But we'll begin with Brexit without the exit, because the dirty deal is done. And here are the three stooges. Keir Starmer, our illustrious Prime Minister, is flanked by two of the EU's three presidents, because who needs only one? So we've got Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, on the left, and Antonio Costa, President of the European Council, on the right. Now, the deal will, according to Starmer, deliver on his core mission to grow the economy, back British jobs, and put more money in people's pockets. That's so exciting. Except that was never the core mission. Its core mission was, as we've been talking about, European defence. All the rhetoric about goods to flow freely again, including between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, is just that rhetoric. So the sheer propaganda from 10 Downing Street, however, is off the charts. This is just one example of it. So on the top there, you can see what happens before the UK-EU deal, and on the bottom, after the UK-EU deal, and everybody's happy in the sunshine. It's unbelievable. So Starmer said yesterday, there's no impediment to e-gates at EU airports. And his regime is working on it, is basically what he was saying. We've now cleared the barrier and we're getting on with it. So we should be particularly excited about that. So he went on to say that, ladies and gentlemen, Britain is back on the world stage. Actually, according to the Facts for EU website, what he meant was that Britain is back in the EU cage, and I suspect that's probably pretty accurate. Starmer's triumphalism was, as we've said, off the charts. In the last 2 weeks alone, he said, we've delivered trade deals with India and the United States. That means jobs saved, jobs created, more growth, and a huge vote of confidence in this country, leading the way internationally, made Britain a place where people wanted to do business once again. That's his narrative. And why was he looking so glum then? He was looking so glum in all the photographs, and except when people were making the jokes. I don't know whether anybody was talking about fires or anything like that. But anyway, as usual with the EU, with EU related matters, nothing of substance was included in the British regime's press release. Instead, we had nonsense like this. So let's have a look at this. UK secures new agreement with the European Union to support British businesses, back British jobs, and put more money in people's pockets. In the UK press release also was, package will help make food cheaper, slash red tape, open up access to the EU market, and add nearly £9 billion to the UK economy by 2040, as if that's a lot of money over that period of time. And the Prime Minister hails the agreement as good for jobs, good for bills, and good for our borders. If you're still not throwing up at this point, let's have a look at what the EU, what their position was, because they produced this joint statement. We had to go to this to get the detail of the whole thing. And strangely enough, this joint statement doesn't seem to be on the UK government website. And if we compare the language from both sides, here's what the EU said then. EU will be overfishing in British waters until 2030. We will effectively be rejoining the single market for food and agriculture. It's going to tie the food sector in the UK to EU regulation. We're effectively rejoining the single market for energy and carbon pricing. And we're going to see the return of legislative parity. We never really saw that disappear. So the EU themselves said, I'm going to put Ursula on this, because although she didn't actually say it, it's coming out of the EU and out of her declaration. So I'm putting the quote against her name. We note the political agreements leading to full reciprocal access to waters to fish until 30th of June 2038, actually. Starmer, for his part, lied by saying this: we've reached a deal today on fish, protecting our access rights in fishing areas with no increase in the amount of EU vessels, the amount that EU vessels can catch in British waters. Anyway, the deal was done on Monday is only the start. Ursula let the cat out of the bag during the Q&A session in the press conference. Let's have a listen to what she said.
Your second question was on SAFE for the UK. Indeed, it's a two-step approach towards SAFE. The first precondition is a security and defence partnership. That has been concluded today. And it opens the door for the UK to participate in the joint procurement under SAFE. Then there comes the second step that is necessary to negotiate a second agreement. And here we detail out, it's again a process of detailing out, budget contribution, reciprocal market access, and rules on security of supply. And this will give, that's important, in the end, the UK industrial participation. This is the goal that we have together.
Well, on Gibraltar, the Commission and the...
So what we have there is the first step of the UK's participation in SAFE, as they call it now, SAFE being EU Defence Union. The second part, which is coming soon, will require Britain to make budget contributions, give contracts to EU companies, accept EU rules on defence industry, foreign policy, convergence and EU supervision of defence projects, which is all exactly what we've been warning about. And it, if we were ever really out in the first place, it certainly takes us right back in. But then the question is, what of Nigel Farage? Well, he's away. Sorry, let's go back one. He's away to France for a holiday. Where else would he go at this time other than the EU? The man, in my opinion, is a fraud and always has been. And, he is not interested in this issue anymore, as far as I can see. He's only interested in echoing what Donald Trump has to say. And as Brian Monteith says in The Scotsman, this is not a reset, not even a retreat. It's a capitulation, an unconditional surrender that changes the relationship beyond recognition. Well, I understand that sentiment, but I don't think it's any of those, because I think this was the plan from the beginning. There never was an intention to make Brexit work from any political leader or from any section of the Uni Party. And if you think that this is probably not the best idea that has ever been thought up, then you might like to sign the petition which Veterans for Britain has set up on the gov.uk petition site. The link will be in the show notes. And many watching this may feel like a referendum on the EU is the last thing they want to see. But I think this has to be resisted, and doing nothing is not resistance. But don't worry. If Starmer's holiday propaganda that I showed you at the beginning of this report isn't enough for you, yesterday he was visiting supermarkets to make sure we all believe that food prices will fall because of this fantastic deal. So we can go back to sleep now. What do you think?
Well, there's a lot to say. I mean, Hotel California springs to mind, and I think anybody that voted in sincerity to get out of the European Union will be scratching their head today. But the promises of more money at the same time as complaining about a 22 billion black hole and saying that only 9 billion will be returned to the economy in 15 years seems like pretty poor return. So I think there's a lot more to talk about on it, but it doesn't sound good.
Right. And so let's continue with sort of international things with the British